disgusting. Like David Finn from NUI Galway, he's done a remarkable 17 years, probably heading for 18 years of research into medicinal cannabis associated with chronic pain. And that evidence and that research is sitting here in Ireland, you know, and that the fact that that wasn't even included in the Compassionate Access Programme is absolutely, it's horrifying.
Can I ask you, Vera, many TDs is on your side as you speak?
Look, it's very hard to know. I could probably give you a greater account of the people that aren't on our side, which is not a good sign. I know that Gino, Richard, Breed, Mick, Ruth, they're all on our side. I feel like Michael Collins is on our side. I've had very, very warm conversations with Danny Healy-Rae. He's a very, very nice man. You know, I think he sympathises greatly with our daughter's situation. Like Michael as well. I don't know what way, you know, they might vote in terms of, you know, in the Dáil or, you know, whatever, but Andreas Moynihan is very supportive. But again, when it comes down to a party basis, I don't know whether his hands will be tied. It's so hard to know. Like the more of the independent people, you can get a clearer idea.
Vera? I think Vera just left us there for a second. But you no matter, I'll play a tune. I don't know what tune I'm going to play. I'll pick one now.
Hello?
Are you back with us, Vera?
I'm back, sorry. Yeah, I'm back, sorry about that.
Not a problem, not a problem. Just tell me where we were, will you? Oh, the TDs, yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to know. I mean, like privately there's more support than there is publicly. I'll put it. I suppose that's the most.
Yeah, but even at that, that's a good situation to be in.
It is. It's a good situation to be in, but like people have to stand up and be counted as well.
Yeah, but if once you know that, you know, at least you know that if a vote came about, then they're going to vote for it. You know.
Oh, I don't know anything like that. You know, and over the time, there have been politicians who I thought were very supportive, and then over time they simply don't return your phone calls anymore. So I don't know. That's the thing.
I'd just like to say to the listeners there, if anybody wants to Skype in, it's @Flower333 or many messages Vera. There's loads of things from Vera about support for you and admiration for you. But if anybody has a question for Vera, just post it in the chat. We were talking last night before I forget now, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, was it?
By the way, a very important thing I have to say: how can people donate to this cause?
They can go on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
It's just Vera Twomey is the Facebook page, and there's a link. Like I'm trying to keep it. I should pin it to the top, but I'm not sure how to pin it to the top. So. It's maybe it's at the top of the post or 3 or 4 posts down, and if you click into it, you can decide to make a donation there if you wish. You know, I mean we're like, I mean, do you know what? Like, the thing is, we're so grateful because there have been people that have made donations of €5, €10, €50. We had donations of €1,500. One gentleman donated €5,000. But like, every single donation is significant, you know, because €5 to one family might be as much as 5,000 to another. Do you know, that kind of way? That's kind of what I'd be thinking anyway, you know. So, like, it's deeply appreciated, you know, because it's an awful worry to be over here. Like, the cost of everything over here is, well, you know what? Look at, it's significant when you're not working, you know. Like, it's significant when there isn't a regular income coming into the household. So, like, we deeply appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. And just to say, this THC oil is not for free, by the way.
Oh God, no. Not, of course, no. There's nothing for free. And you know, like, there's I think the ongoing cost of the medication and the accommodation are the most significant things. I think once we get established in a solid location, you know, other expenses can be kept down, you know, like food or whatever, like that's manageable. But it's the rent is the thing, you know.
What is the rent like over in Holland at the minute?
It varies quite a lot, but it's up into the thousands per month. You know, you're because, like, you know, you need a couple of bedrooms, and you know, you need a reasonable location as well with small children. You know, you kind of can't just, you know, rock on to just somewhere unsuitable. You know, when you have children, and particularly children with special needs, like, you kind of do need some kind of a decent location. So we're trying everywhere we can to you know, hit the jackpot, I suppose, as it were.
For anybody that hasn't got Facebook, Vera, is there any other way of donating to your cause?
We set up an account. God, I don't have my friend in Macroom suggested that we should set up an account, but I don't have the details of the account. I suppose that's a bit foolish, but perhaps we could put that up at a later time on the Facebook page or something. We'd probably do that, all right. But for the moment, it's through the GoFundMe page.
GoFundMe, Vera Twomey, GoFundMe.
Ava Barry GoFundMe.
Oh, Ava Barry, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that's amazing there, right? How is Paul, your husband, taking this?
He's do you know, I suppose, look at, do you know what, we're just getting on with it. Like, the priority is keeping the kids as happy as possible, and trying to do the work that we need to do, while kind of trying to maybe go to the park or kind of do something fun with them as well, that it's not completely unbearable, because you know, it's a different, you know, they don't have the freedom like that they'd have at home, you know, so you kind of have to go to the park or kind of go somewhere to give them a little run out. So yeah.
What age is your children, Vera?
Ava is 7. Sophia just turned 6 the other day. Michael is 4, and Elvira May is 2.
Elvira May, lovely name. What about the schooling for the children over in Holland?
Well, there was only about my son was in play school, so his play school was just about finished before we left, and my daughter was in juniors, so she's missed the last kind of, I suppose, about 10 days or maybe a bit with it of juniors. But they kind of had, do you know, the way it's kind of a wind down in June, really. So so it wasn't what we wanted to do, but we kind of felt that like she had all, you know, like they have these little word boxes and things in juniors. They have so many words to learn every week, and they had all of those done, and whatever little bits were left, I took them from the teachers so that she could be doing it here as well, just over the time, so that she wouldn't miss out on anything.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, when the family did uproot, like the school and stuff, you had no dogs or any cats or anything, had you?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
And
They're still at home, yeah, they're being minded, yeah.
Vera, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play a couple of songs, and I'm going to get back to you then. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's great.
Make yourself a cup of tea, or put another sugar in that tea that you haven't now.
Yeah, I just made one.
I don't take sugar in tea, by the way. Yeah, we'll be back after this, folks, and I'll be back with Vera. And we'll see what happens then. Thanks, Vera. I'll be back with you then after these couple of tunes.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Vera. Bye. You're back live.
I'm back, yeah. Oh, hello, everyone. Gino said if you wanted to speak to him, that just if you could Skype him, because he didn't seem to have your Skype address.
My Skype address is MattenFarrow333.
Okay, well, I think he's there to come on if you Skype him anyway. So.
I don't know what Skype address you're.
Okay. I think it might be Gino. I think it might be Gino Kenny.
Have a look, see. Anyway, while I'm doing this, Vera, there's an outpouring of love for yourself and your daughter from people in that radio this evening.
Thank you.
I was told to say that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, seriously.
We're very lucky. We're very, very lucky. You know, like it's not. You know, like her illness is dire. You know, it's really, really. It's a 24-hour job, you know, and the people that are out there that, you know, they know what I mean, like, you know, like whether it's epilepsy or whether it's another condition, excuse me, you know, it's a 24-hour job, and sometimes to hear something like that means an awful lot, you know, because, like, there are good people out there, you know, that care about kids like ours, you know. It's just that something has to be done, and I just don't know what anymore to make these people above in Dublin, above in the Dáil, do their job, really, because that's all that you're asking them to do.
Well, they work for us, Vera. They work for us.
They work, yeah.
That's all people have to know. They work for us. But I want to start this last hour with you with negatives and positives. We had a talk, as again I said, was it last night or the night before? I'm not too sure. But you said that you got negative responses to yourself and your family on Facebook or so forth or everywhere it was. I cannot understand that for the life of me, Vera.
Well, you know, there are strange people out there. There are people that, you know, don't wish us well. But, you know, I think the most important thing regarding people like that is to just put them aside and not give them the oxygen that they're looking for, because they're just not in a good place, or they're just not, I don't know, they're just not able to love the way other people are, you know. I mean, like, and the thing about it is, I suppose there's a few bad apples in every barrel, but the thing is that for every ugly, you know, disgusting remark that was ever made, there'd be 100 other responses or comments that just neutralise that, you know, and bring you back up again. And that's what I think, you know, you should focus on, rather than people criticizing you, you know, or trying to twist your words or pull apart a point that you've made. You know, I think just the best way to deal with these trolls is to just leave them at it, you know, because you need to focus on the good people, and it's the good people that are worth talking to and listening to, not the bad eggs, you know.
Well, it was said in the 1970s, we were on a comedy show on BBC, I think it was BBC, he said, don't let the bastards grind you down. That's what he said.
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, they're not worth that much, you know. Like it's the good people and the people that care about Eva that we'd like to talk to, not people that don't.
I will not be mentioning any names just for this last one, but there was a person abusing you, as you might say, was there? We won't mention any names. There was a selection of people, of course. You know, there are people out there that are deeply unwell, I think, and you know, I think some of the people that make, you know, such a point of harassing, you know, decent people, there must be something fundamentally wrong there, that they must be very unwell. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I really have to agree with you here. But now we go with the positive outlook. After the last show you done on People's Internet Radio, you got great feedback, I believe.
It was a lovely talk. I mean, I think to be speaking to Rick like that was incredible. It was really amazing, and I think I met a very good friend of ours inside in Macroom a couple of days after it, and she said to me that you know, she sat and she listened to the whole thing, and it was like she couldn't believe that it was almost 2 hours that she'd been there listening. And she told me that, you know, she knew that Eva was unwell, and like, you know, we would have talked about it and different things that had happened to Eva and how she was getting on, or, you know, she'd be inquiring about how she was getting on in school and all of this. And but she said that she got the opportunity to kind of hear the whole story that night, which she said she knew an awful lot more after that conversation that night than she had done previously. And you know, the thing is, like I said to you the other night, we're very grateful to you for giving us this space to talk about it, because sometimes, even though it's a great opportunity to come on a radio station for a couple of minutes and get the chance to highlight one or two particular points, oftentimes people have a lot of questions then that they're wondering. They're saying, what about this, what about that? For example, somebody might be wondering why it is that, you know, you wouldn't just administer THC in Ireland, and like there is a logical, practical reason for that, and you know, once you're given the time to explain that properly, that something like that can be cleared up for a person, I think. So it was a great opportunity, and I should thank you very much for giving it to us.
Vera, you don't have to thank me or People's Internet Radio. You don't have to thank us, but
well, I think I do, because you know what, it's not just about Eva, like, because the thing about it is that could answer a question for a person in relation to other families with their kids, why they're afraid and why they're unable to, you know, treat their children at home, because that's the reason, you know. Like, I mean, you don't have the support, you don't have the doctors beside you at home to oversee this medication and to move forward with it positively, you know. So like there's many other families out there, maybe they don't have Dravet syndrome, but they have serious epilepsy or other conditions, and you know, it's a very similar question that somebody might be asking of another family or another parent, you know.
Probably so. It was actually just on that reference, you were saying that when you do go on TV3 or any other radio station, you only get 2 or 3 minutes. So you can't really explain yourself or what's going on in that sense.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say 2 or 3 minutes because I've got opportunities, you know, to talk longer, like, about it. But the thing is, it just takes a while because there's a lot of intricacies between the CBD, the THC, you know, the different points, you know, her experiences, you know, what she's gone through, and just if you have that little bit of extra time to talk about it, you know, you're just able to broaden out a little bit more and kind of have a more, I suppose, a more normal conversation about it.
Yeah. I've taken CBD. A good friend of mine in Scotland sent it to me on numerous occasions, and it helped me for depression and numerous other things. I've taken THC. Wouldn't be ashamed to say it. So I cannot understand why this government is at this crossroads and stance. I really can't.
Maybe I should pop over to Brussels because I just see Leo over in Brussels there at the moment. Maybe I should pop over and ask him.
Yeah, maybe so. He said he couldn't comment on THCL or this cannabis situation because he too many functions to attend to.
Pardon?
Leo Varadkar, I can't ever think of his name. He said he couldn't comment on this because he had too many functions to attend to.
Where did he make that remark?
I read it today somewhere. I'll find it for you and I'll send it to you.
Gosh.
He said he couldn't comment on it.
My goodness.
But that's what we're up against.
My goodness.
I'll find it for you and I will send it to you, Vera. But I did read it somewhere today. So
that's essentially the head of state in this country saying that he hasn't time to care about small children.
He's not my head of state, Vera. He's not my head of state. I didn't vote for him. Did you vote for him?
Well, the thing about it is he's the Taoiseach of this country, and that's my point, you know.
Yeah, okay. But I didn't vote for him. He's not my Taoiseach. He's not my Prime Minister. He's not the country's Prime Minister because nobody voted for him.
That's what Paul said as well. Yeah. Paul said that, you know, it was a very, I don't know what the word that he used actually, but he made that point as well that you know, when Enda Kenny stepped down as the leader of Fine Gael and as the Taoiseach of the country, that there should have been a general election called to vote in the next Taoiseach, you know, because the people should have a say there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I know you're a member of a party, and I know which party, which I'm not going to say, but I'll tell you exactly what party I'm a member of, and I'll tell you why. What?
My father, my grandfather, my great grandfather, back as far as the Civil War, were always Fine Gael, always. And my father, I'd say, must be spinning in his grave, Lord have mercy on the man, because of the way that Fine Gael politicians down in Cork have treated us, and their lack of interest, and they're just Michael Creed down in Macroom. I believe I'm blocked on Facebook by Michael, you know, for no good reason, and I would be honest with you if it was the case that I had put up anything disrespectful or anything like that. But Michael came out to our house before the last election and took endless notes and everything, and we met him on was it one or two occasions, making efforts to try and put the case to him to help Eva. And on the second occasion that we met him in his office, we came in the front door and we were led out the back door into the car park of Dunnes Stores, you know, and it was the most demeaning experience. And he said to us, sure, they won't prescribe it, Vera, what do you expect me to do? And that's what our Minister for Agriculture, our Fine Gael representative, down in Cork did for us.
You not think
Now, my father was a member of the Fine Gael party when he was alive, and after he died, the membership was passed on to me. So therefore, all throughout this, you know, I have the membership card. I don't have it here in my wallet, but it's at home somewhere. So I will give you an example, because the thing about it is, because of my dad having that vote, or having that card, you know, I felt like, do you know what? I'm not going to stop attending meetings. I'm going to go to the meetings when they're on, and I'm going to speak up for my daughter, and I'm going to highlight the fact that I'm a member of the Fine Gael party, and that this is the level of respect that we have been issued with. And I went to a meeting, I would say it's over a year ago, back in Mill Street, where I challenged Michael on the issue, and he wasn't very pleased with me at all. But it was staggering, you know, that the vast majority of the people that were in the audience, after they heard me put my point to Michael, they were very supportive, you know. Like, there are good people, you know, there are good people in every party, you know, in the grassroots of every party. But more recently, when we went to, or when Simon Coveney and Leo Varadkar were having those, what are they called, you know, those meetings in the different parts of the country when they were running for the Taoiseach. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. I went to the meeting, which was down in the Silver Springs Hotel, and I came to the door, I showed my card, and they said to me they couldn't let me in because I didn't have a wristband, that I had to go to a desk to get a wristband. I said, where's the desk? So we had arrived late and the desk was gone. So the guy said to me, okay, you can go in. I said, look, I have the card, it's here, whatever. So I made my way. It was in the upper conference room at the top end of the Silver Springs, and I would have walked halfway up the left hand side of the room, and I stood by the wall. And I would say about certainly less than 10 minutes later, I was approached by a security guard who told me that I had to leave. And I said to him, what do you mean I have to leave? He said, you can't be here, you don't have a wristband. And I said, well, I said, you're the fella that let me in without the wristband. And I said, the card is here. And I said, I have as much right as any other person to be here, and you do not have the right to remove me from here. So it's my opinion that he was about to remove me from the room to draw on other security people. But one of the porters of the Silver Springs, I just felt this hand on my shoulder, and I just said, oh my God, he's going to take me out, like, you know, he's going to take me out of the room. And I said to myself, what on earth am I going to do? You know, like, am I just going to walk out? Am I going to say something? I didn't know what to do. And the porter said, she's all right, leave her alone. And the security guard looked at him anyway, and he kind of melted away. So I spoke to Simon Coveney after that meeting was over, and and when I was leaving, do you know the way you kind of feel that like somebody's watching you? Yeah. And I kind of thought, maybe I know somebody here, and I turned around and I looked at this guy and I said, oh my God, he's following me. And I said, no, Vera, there's nobody following you. You're just imagining this now or whatever. And anyway, I said, I'm going to take a few steps now and I'm just going to stop and I'm going to turn around and see what the guy does. So I did that, and when I turned around, he was after moving into a row of seats, just 2 or 3 seats in, staring right at me. And I said, my God, he's after me. So he followed me the whole ways out to the door, and I missed Paul. And in the meantime, there was 2 security guards standing around Paul for the whole time that he was in the room. And when I walked out, I called Paul. I thought he was outside the door, and I had to go back in again to find him. The security guard followed me back in. I met Paul inside, and he told me, you're not imagining anything. He said, there's been 2 guys standing at either side of me since I got into the room here. You know, like, and I would ask you the question, what on earth do people think a mother looking for medication for her 7-year-old child is going to do? You know, what exactly is the fear there?
But you have to, this is your political preference, Vera, and they're letting you down.
It's not any, no, it's not any longer. I would like to emphasize that I will never vote for Fine Gael again. But what I will do is I will take that card and I will use it to Ava's advantage. And I will go because of the simple fact that the other people that adore these politicians, these Fine Gael people, and see them like with a glowing light around them, need to hear the story as somebody that's been up there 4 or 5 times and dealt with all of them. And if I'm unpopular locally, or you know, if I'm you know, kind of if I'm selected for that kind of treatment, like to be selected as almost like as a dangerous person going to a meeting, well, grand, I'll put up with that, because people should know. You know, people should know that our local representative blocked me on Facebook, that he didn't help us, you know, that he only attended the meeting above in Dublin that night because Nigel Dennehy, who is the Sinn Féin member above in Rylan, said it out on TV that he should be there, and he showed up that night, you know, with no idea of what was going on, absolutely not a clue.
That's a disgrace. By the way, Vera, is it Islamic in Ireland? What you said earlier on there, that my father voted for Fine Gael, my grandfather voted for Fine Gael, his grandfather voted for Fine Gael. Why would it be up to you to vote for Fine Gael if you could see other principles or policies in another political party?
It doesn't make any sense. No, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but it is the way that I suppose a lot of people, I have a number of friends above in Rylan who were always loyal Fine Gael supporters that will never vote for them again, never. Because they didn't believe that a little girl could be treated as badly as Ava has been neglected.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a question here.
And it's just a loyalty, I suppose. It's just an unfounded loyalty that Irish people have for their political, you know, for you know, like it's there's a lot of people that are like that, I think.
Well, I think half the country is like that, Vera, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question here from Paddy Bronson in the chat room. He says, has Vera come across any other parents that would go down the same route as herself?
I think there's numerous people that are on the edge of their seats waiting to go because they're just as desperate as we are, you know, and like, I mean, that's the thing, you know, that people have different reasons for not going. People are pinning hopes on the legislation. They're maybe looking at their family situation at home. They're not able to go for whatever reason. But I think there's many people that are just praying that the legislation would go through.
Did you meet any parents of the same persuasion as yourself, the same sway as yourself?
Yes, I've met a lot of parents that are in a similar situation to us, that are just going through this journey. You know, like, I mean, for people like us, you know, for like, say, people that have an illness like Eva, people are often at different stages on the journey. You know, like, we've gone through all the medications, you know, we've gone through all the pharmaceutical medications, but for a lot of people, I mean, if you have a 3 or a 4-year-old child, you might feel that there's still hope with the pharmaceutical medications. So a lot of people might feel that they have to go down that line, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever meet a parent or parents with a child and then explain to them what a THC oil or CBD oil can do?
I've explained to numerous people what CBD has done for Ava, but like, it's not my business to tell people any more than that. Like, it's up to people themselves to, you know, make the decision as to what is best for their child and for their family situation. And like, the research is out there, and you know, I think it's a journey for people. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody has to kind of do their own research to satisfy themselves that it might be the right avenue to go down for their child or for their loved one. But I've told anybody that has ever asked me, I've been glad to tell them what CBD has done for Ava.
Absolutely, because we know it works. By the way, your GoFundMe page is all over the place here in PIR at the minute.
Oh wow!
I know for a fact that there's people out there going to it. I won't mention the names, I might embarrass them. But I have another question here from Laurie. How long has Ava been on the oil?
Since last October. She's been on the oil since October, and I'd say, Laurie, her seizures have gone down by like 80 to 90% on the oil. Just to kind of, it's a good way to, I think, exhibit like the progress that Ava has made. There was a report done in February, and in that report, her own school, independently of myself and Paul, or Paul and I should say, they said in that report that Ava had made more progress in school from October to February than she had done in the previous 2 years at school.
So it's working, obviously. The question we had there was completely gone. Useless. So you don't know how long you're going to stay there, Vera. You operate your family, you're over there in Holland now. Animals have been taken care of, the house has obviously been taken care of. You don't know what's even next, do you?
Hello, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, no, there was just a call came through there. I couldn't take it. Sorry about that.
No problem. I was saying, you can take that call if you want to. That's not a problem.
No, that's okay.
I was just saying, what's next for your family? You're over there, stuck in Holland, getting this medication for your daughter, which we're 100% behind you. You don't know what's next.
Well, we'll have to see whether we can establish success. I suppose that's the only thing. We'll have to, you know, give the HSE what they're requiring. Try and stay as positive as we possibly can. I mean, you can probably tell from me, like tonight, you know, it's very upsetting. You know, I mean, you'd be angry, like, for the fact that you have to be over here.
Yeah.
And we just hope that, you know, we're gonna get back where we need to be, where our home is, where we want to be.
Is it the case that
I'm just looking at my levels here. Is it the case that you could be bringing home paperwork to show the HSE or the professionals involved?
I didn't catch that now, sorry.
I said, is it the case that you were bringing home paperwork to show the HSE and professionals?
Yes, it is. Like you've got to establish her on the treatment. You've got to provide the HSE with evidence that it works. You know, and with the help of God, it will work. I'm pretty, optimistic that it will. So you've got to provide them with the evidence that they're looking for, and that's the route to come home.
With the amount of seizures Eva was taken, on a scale of 1 to 100, in many seizures, is she down when she takes the CBD oil or a THC oil?
The way that I would say it is that she's down from probably about 500 seizures a month to probably on average about 4 or 5.
Good Lord.
And maybe a little bit more than that though, if she gets an ear infection or gets sick, you might be up to 8 or 9, that kind of way, but really probably not much more than that if things are going reasonably well. Excuse me.
But that's a month. That's some dramatic downturn in seizures.
Massive, yeah, absolutely massive.
Vera, do you know what I'm going to do? I have to say thanks again for coming on, and no doubt you'll be on again. You're a very, very courageous woman, Vera. That's all I can say to you. Very, very courageous. And as I said earlier on, there's nothing but love pouring out of people's internet radios tonight for you and your daughter. Nothing but love.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Like with the help of God, we'll get her sorted. We'll get what we need for her, and with the help of God, there won't be other people over there that'll have to go through this, because I wouldn't wish this on anyone. I really wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't wish it on anybody myself. You're my hero, Vera. Nothing I can say.
No, go away now with that. I'll be blushing now next.
Seriously, you're my hero. Vera, I'm going to let you go because I know you've other children there, and you've other things to do, and you're an hour ahead of us, so it's probably 11:30 there now. So
yeah, time for the cot now, I think.
Time for the cot. So Vera, thanks very, very much for coming on again on Let's Talk Live and People's Internet Radio.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to everybody for their support. It's really, really appreciated. Thank you.
You are always welcome, Vera. Thanks very much.
Take care, Martin. All the best.
Good night. Good night.
Bye-bye.